welcome back to another podcast. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. I know I did. Had some good food with some great people. May I ask, how many of you honestly had your Christmas tree up before Thanksgiving? My wife is a Christmas in November person, which is fine, but I stood my ground this year, by golly. I told her, no Christmas tree before Thanksgiving. Felt pretty good about it. Anyway, on a different topic, does anyone know of anywhere with cheap rent? Asking for a friend. Now, it's officially Christmas season, and I have my snowman socks on. I am ready for this podcast, so let's grab our hot chocolate and let's get into this. Hot takes on cool topics.
Superheat is very hot. In fact, it's super hot.
Let's answer today's question. What is superheat? The definition of superheat is the temperature difference between a refrigerant vapor state and its saturation point at a particular pressure, or extra heat added to the refrigerant vapor above its boiling point. Let's take a step back. When you hear the term boiling, our minds automatically tie this with being hot, as in 212 degrees Fahrenheit, pot of water on the range, hot. At sea level, again, I am in Florida. We boil water at 212 degrees. When the liquid changes to a gas, that's what's called saturation, a mixture of liquid and vapor together. Now, say we magically add 10 degrees of additional heat to the vapor. It is 10 degrees warmer than the saturation temperature. We now have 10 degrees of superheat. Let's change gears. Imagine you're at a system. We'll say it's 410A. Your batteries are dead and the digital gauges can't find extra ones. And all you have are those old analog gauges and a thermometer. Measure the temperature of the suction line. It reads 55 degrees. Measure the low side pressure. The needle shows 130 psi-G. Follow that needle back into the 410A column and find the saturation temperature. We'll say it's 45 degrees. Subtract line temperature, 55, by saturated temperature, 45. We now have 10 degrees of superheat. Remember that example from earlier? Liquid to vapor, magically added 10 degrees of heat, all that stuff. That is what the refrigerant does in the system, but at lower temperatures. The extra heat added is the air from inside the home or space, absorbed through the evaporator coil, and transferred into the refrigerant, carried back to the outdoor unit. Pretty neat, huh? Most of you may learn on digital gauges, and it will automatically calculate all this for you. When you learn how to calculate superheat, you'll probably earn bragging rights. Maybe. Superheat used to be the primary way to charge a system, and I still run into a few residential systems that have a fixed orifice and need to be charged that way. Now, we're not talking commercial, refrigeration, all that, we're just talking residential. Now, we mostly have thermal expansion valves, and the charging process is a little different. Along with other things, the superheat can tell us how well the TXV is maintaining, but mainly how well the system is working. If you didn't already know, a TXV is designed to maintain a certain superheat on certain conditions. Don't get superheat confused with subcool, which is another term in the industry, mostly used for charging a system with a TXV. Don't worry, we will discuss this on another podcast. The main takeaway from this is, if your senior tech asks you what is superheat, you can now have a response. Extra heat added to the refrigerant vapor above its boiling point. Hopefully you'll be able to take something away from this podcast. If you did, share it with your friends. Please like and subscribe. It helps us create content like this for you. Have a question you want answered? Drop it down in the comment section. Also, check out our other podcasts. Thanks for listening.